Cincinnati is number 18 out of 100 cities when it comes to being immigrant-friendly, according to a new report by New American Economy, a coalition of business leaders and mayors. The organization created a cities index to measure the impact immigrants are having on our nation's largest cities and how effectively immigrants are integrating. Cincinnati scored well in part because of the effort of Mayor John Cranley and the business and educational leaders that formed Cincinnati Compass, a welcome center for those new to Cincinnati, particularly immigrants and refugees. Former Congressman Steve Driehaus worked for the Peace Corps in Swaziland and Morocco after he left Congress, and he's now executive director of Cincinnati Compass. He joins Business Courier producer Kelly Leon in the studio to talk about Cincinnati as an immigrant-friendly city.
Thanks, Peg. And by the way, I want to say Steve Driehaus was a 40 under 40 honoree.
A long time ago.
Not too long ago. Not too long ago.
A couple of years.
Thanks for being here, Steve. The report by New American Economy, were you surprised that where we ranked?
I think we were a little surprised. We were pleasantly surprised, but we've been making tremendous efforts here in Greater Cincinnati to welcome immigrants, and so I think it's a validation for what the mayor and the Chamber of Commerce have been doing, as well as the community partners. And you know, there's still a long way to go, but I think we're very happy to see that we're moving up the ranks.
So talk a little bit about Cincinnati Compass, what it does, how it works.
Cincinnati Compass was put together. It's an extension of the Mayor's Task Force on Immigration, and it's housed at the Chamber of Commerce as an LLC, but we've recently created a governing board and an advisory board. The advisory board has about 25 different members, 75% of them being first-generation immigrants. And the whole idea of Cincinnati Compass is to make Greater Cincinnati more welcoming for immigrants. So we're advocating on behalf of immigrants. We're connecting them to services that might be available to the immigrant community. We're building capacity where those services don't currently exist. And then we're celebrating the tremendous number of contributions being made by immigrants, both culturally as well as economically.
So it's really a place to connect them. And then
Very much.
Okay. Now I've heard you say that future generations will judge us by how we treat immigrants and refugees.
I probably did say that.
Why is that important?
Look, I think, you know, we are a nation of immigrants, and we have not always done well, you know, by the immigrant populations. If you look at the way the Irish were discriminated against, or the Japanese internment camps, or certainly the slaves, you know, we do not necessarily have a great history when it comes to immigration. And I'm afraid that we're slipping back, you know, into some of that rhetoric that's really unfortunate, because the immigrants that are coming here today are well educated. They're working hard. They're trying to build families, and they're contributing to our communities. We should embrace them. We should welcome them. They are the reason we are growing in Greater Cincinnati, and we should be proud of that. And so I do think that our children and our grandchildren will look back on these days and say, you know, what were we thinking? We are a diverse nation. We welcome immigrants. Why were we engaged in such, you know, negative rhetoric?
Well, it appears your work is paying off, and I'm sure you will continue to work hard on this.
We'll continue working hard, and we hope it'll continue to pay off.
Thanks, Steve.